Hey guys, it's Zalunardo and Hussein Kabani in the East Meets West podcast number 3 of the season.
That's right.
Awesome, buddy.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What are we chatting up today?
Lots of exciting stuff. Lots of exciting stuff.
Sure,
Yeah.
2019 looks promising, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a great year all around.
Absolutely.
But yeah, in general, in terms of business, we've been, call it what it is, a little bit slower.
Sure.
I thought for me anyways that I'm going to be able to get a couple of more deals in by this time already.
Yeah.
Where are we in? The 22nd?
22nd. 23rd.
23rd? See, we've already lost track.
Yeah.
I thought I'd probably get a little bit more done by this time.
Yeah.
Haven't. We had that one listing that lingered in from December into January that got sold firm.
Nice.
We had a couple of offers go out, didn't get them accepted for our buyers. We have people in the pipeline still, just not happening as quick as we'd like. But I'm confident it's still going to shape up pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overall, I think January is the lowest month in number of transactions in Treb.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming off it was a weird year last year. So it's and again all the interest rate hikes bringing us in to this year with no interest rate hikes and also a decrease in interest, which is also awesome. And even same with me. So a little bit slower this month too. Picked up a few listings. We did one sale. That farm sale I did after a year.
Nice.
So that was
good. That one.
Oh my gosh, Dundalk. 365 days.
Awesome. Good for you.
Good. Yeah, people in the pipe ready to go. I found now with the interest rates decreasing, the last, RBC just put it down 15 basis points.
Yeah.
Even with that slight little 15 basis point, a little shift, it ultimately brought action back into the market.
Yeah.
Like we have that collaboration listed in Angus and literally got a showing, right?
Yeah.
And then there was I listed in Maple and there was like 10 showings over the weekend.
Perfect.
It was insane. And a listing in Bradford that didn't get any action the last 90 days or 60 days. We had 3 showings last week. So just that mental mindset.
I think consumer confidence, right? Consumer confidence based on the interest rate going lower.
Absolutely.
This is kind of like a positive sign, right? Because we've kind of went into real estate, into the real estate market where we were at that peak. It came down, and then we're kind of sat in limbo, what's going on, and it kind of almost became stagnant to a certain point. But I think now that we're seeing the signs of the interest rate coming down, I think it's re-energized the consumer to come back out. Yeah, to come back out.
So now they reduced it 15 basis points.
Yeah.
The big 5 or is it the 4 left are going to follow suit
they're
naturally.
going for sure.
And they're even talking about further going to 3.25 or 3.5%, which is awesome. I think you lock in for a 5-year at 3.5 points. It's a really good deal naturally.
Yeah. Even when we were talking back in November when I was thinking about doing mine, the guy at TD was telling me hold off. I think they're going to bring down fixed. So he's right on. He's so he's right on. He's bringing them down and whatever. So I'm glad I actually went with that variable option. But I was just actually playing around a little bit today, and I did a calculation. Okay. And if I remember correctly, what it was is that it was $13 for if you look at $100,000 in a quarter point, up or down or whatever, is $13 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $13 a month.
On what amount though?
$100,000. $100,000, right? So it's $65 on $500K or something like that.
Yeah.
$60-$70 on $500K. Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, I get it. It is good. It's money, but you think about what it takes to shift a consumer's mindset. You know what I mean? When you're looking at the bottom dollar and you're thinking on a $500K mortgage, $70 or something like that, how much more stimulation are you getting? You know what I mean? It's not that, for me, it's not that big of a number to bridge, but you get action. People feel better about it.
Media has such a huge influence on the people. How people vote, how people portray other people, and naturally the housing market. It's literally, like you said, that little adjustment. People don't even know the amount. All they hear in their mind is oh my God, it was up, 8 quarters in a row. Then it was oh, it's stagnant, but it's not time to buy. Now it's come down. It's okay, we got to buy. And it's again, buyers' confidence back in the market. Federal election this year, we knew this was going to happen going into last year.
They're not going to rock the boat.
No, not at all. So you're going to see a fury of buying.
Yeah.
So I think as of today, we're about 12,000 units on the market, right? So again, we're starting to inch up. We're starting to come back to life, and not to life. We're building up inventory.
Yeah. So and I keep saying, right? I have still 2-3 listings signed, ready to go. We're starting to stage them now early next week, and they'll be on the market next week. So I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there like me as well, that have these listings. So they're going to be hitting the market. Yeah. I'm sure we'll get to 13.5 by the end of February. We're going to be there for sure.
Easy.
Yeah.
And usually April, May, we're at 20 to 24,000 units. So, and again, I did the fourth quarter statistics. I just ran the numbers yesterday because they released them recently. And if you looked at October, November, and December, fourth quarter of last year, you see in October was, I think an average sales price in Vaughan was about $1.3 million.
Yep.
And then going into October, going into November, it dropped almost $150,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and you kind of, I'm gonna release something next week just regarding this, and this is the fear of sellers. Because now they're thinking going into December, nothing sells. Going into the Christmas season and holiday season, nothing flips. So these guys are unloading things at crazy prices, like reducing prices very quickly to get this thing sold in the rush that they don't know the unforeseen
uncertainty,
future.
Really, yeah.
So then if you looked at it, and I'm going to just bold it, like this is a consumer's mentality where they're panicked and they're going to sell. Then you look in December, the value goes back up 7%, and the same detached, category up 7%, which is like $70,000 to $80,000.
That's huge.
So you kind of see like the shift. It's just interesting. It's so good to look at the statistics.
For sure.
Just the mental mindset of people.
But also what we were talking about before too, it creates this good opportunity for people that actually want to get into that detached home market at the same time, right?
Towns and semis, I think they fluctuated like 1%.
Nothing.
Like, are you kidding?
Yeah, nothing.
That thing, it was, so 150K was what, 7 or 8%?
Yeah.
I think what that equated to. Like,
that's huge. Yeah,
number.
That's huge.
1% at 800,000 is 8,000.
Yeah.
Even 2%, 60K.
You're way ahead.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
you'd be way ahead.
Yeah.
So if you took that town or semi and sold it now, you don't lost anything. You're actually doing a lot better.
Better in this.
And you're actually buying something for, on average, what, $150,000 less?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That's a lot. That's an impressive net number.
Someone that needs to, not in speculation, someone that needs to move up from a town semi, families getting bigger, is more of a necessity.
Yeah.
It's the best time.
Yeah, of course.
Let's face it.
Yeah, it's a win. It's a winning situation for them, for sure.
100%.
And on the flip side, I would say also, and then I would say on the flip side for them, they were not likely going to have a problem moving that town or semi because the demand is still so high over there. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Whereas the detached,
there's a lot more detaches for sale on the market right now. It's interesting stats. Like I ran that yesterday. It was like so. We don't know how to approach these things, straightforward in the sense that because nobody wants to hear negative news. No. And so if I'm preaching fourth quarter where we saw a sharp decline in value in November, and then December went up, but still not as much as December. Well, we have to tell the truth. I think that's our job, right, to relay the message.
Yeah.
And then who the people got affected and who's going to capitalize on this. I think that's
100%.
an advantage for people to look at.
But the other thing, and I know we agree on it, is like, we're looking at it and we're sharing this information for people that want to know, number one.
Absolutely.
And number two, for people that are really starting to make a decision in real time. In the long run, I don't care.
Yeah. For sure.
I don't care if it goes up 7-8% this year, down 7%. Like it doesn't affect me. It's like just because it went up 7%, I'm not going to round and sell my house now.
Absolutely.
that would be a silly thing to do. But like we all know, in the long period of time, the real estate's going to go up. So it's good that we can pinpoint it now and provide this real time feedback, and at least the consumer can make a better decision at this time. Yeah.
For sure.
But like, in the grand scheme of things, like
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't make a big difference.
Look at this. So I have clients looking for multiplexes. Duplexes to like 20 unit buildings, right, in the sense, and trying to look for one of these things.
Yeah.
They're all sold conditional.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I looked from all the way out from Aurelia down to Hamilton.
Crazy.
And out to even to Waterloo, like multiplexes.
Yeah.
Everything is sold conditional. I can't believe it. So that tells me
get scooped up.
It's all the people with money right now seeing the deals and looking for the long term effect.
Yeah.
Year end, you made $1 million in a construction business. Let's call it. You gotta bury that money somewhere.
You gotta do something with it.
$1 million in cash to live.
You need to do something
with it.
Buy
yourself a multiplex. Put the money out there. You know it's for your retirement, 20, 30 years, whatever it is.
Yeah.
God willing, you live that long, and then and ultimately that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's your retirement plan.
Yeah.
So they don't care what they're paying today. Naturally, they're getting better pricing. And again, actually, to even go back on that, multiplexes haven't gone down in value.
No.
Or commercial in general.
I think people are just looking at it and saying like I think they can start understanding that it is a good value, especially when you're getting into like house investments and stuff like that. If you could get that multiplex, I think you're a little bit safer too, right? At that point.
I can't wait till I get that.
Yeah.
Nice building. I was looking at one in Hamilton, like 16 units. How beautiful is that? I've been taking a picture, like
you know what? And I don't want to get back into this ETF thing and whatever else like that. But like I talked to my accountant about it, and then he's like, why would you put this much money into this asset when you're like, you could put this money in and you could actually gain like 17 or like 12% interest or whatever else like that. So I don't know. I keep flipping back and forth between the two.
Diversification, right? I think ultimately I'm going to do everything in real estate first, and then when there's money being rolled up, naturally then I'm going to move it around to other sources. I think that's just the norm, what you're going to do.
But I think that there are going to be good deals. There's going to be good deals to be had still, and I think that this year and maybe even next year we'll start to expose some more of those deals.
Oh, for sure.
It's like what you've been telling me, just chill out, be patient. Yeah. Just
be
wait.
A squirrel, collect your nuts, put in your tree.
Yeah.
While everyone's looking for nuts in a frozen climate, you're going to be, eating yours or lending them out to people to eat.
This is what it is,
right?
yeah.
And that's what's happening. You've seen a lot of people. The new construction right now is just. I see these inventory houses popping up, which are not inventory. These are non-closed houses, right? Deal fell throughs.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, but even in my hood, right? Like that site I showed you, like they just dropped the price $40,000 just to get these units starting to move.
Absolutely.
Like they've come down to a point of like where I understand the market, or I feel like I understand the market well enough over there that regardless, I feel like it's still a good deal now at that number, right? Like, and it's just like me being 60% there of wanting to pull the trigger on something like this, and saying like 40% I'm still a little bit hesitant on it, but
I don't know. It's up to you, right? I think for me personally, it's different what you need it for, but I mean ultimately, I would just chill. Yeah. Honestly, even new construction like that. If it's resale, it's different. It's closed. It's done. Like, we don't know what's 3 years down the line when you got to close on something. What if that builder bellies up? He's got 3 or 4 other projects that are on the go, but no one's closing, and they just taken your deposit and they go belly up. And Terry on Carry covers up to what, 60,000 or something?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's so much, but maybe 60.
I would just be careful with that because you don't know who's going to last.
Yeah, the builder itself is like a very reputable.
No, for sure.
Very, very, very reputable builder.
We've seen Lehman's brother, in the States, go after 150 years in business.
Once
I saw that in those,
anything's possible.
Anything is possible. I kind of open my eyes to anything. So just it's no point of putting hard-earned cash. You work so bloody hard for what we have, and then ultimately having someone else, you put it in someone else's hand to squander it. You're going to be in Miami living this amazing life, and you're like,
where's my money? Where's my money? Like Grant Cardone says, right? Where's my money? Who's got my money? Who's got my money? Some guy on a boat in Miami.
Fair enough, right? And usually it's like that. He's gonna withstand the storm naturally.
Oh, for sure.
He put enough.
Yeah. But you know what? Then like being straight up, and it's just my mentality. Okay, if you're gonna keep waiting, you're gonna wait. Then how long are you gonna wait? Do you know what I mean? Too. Like I guess you got to try to find like a balance point where you got to say to yourself, hey, and I'm not saying I'm thinking like this, but I'm just thinking like, I'm thinking like at a certain point you got to pull the trigger and say, hey, like, what am I in it for? Like, is this going to be something I want to flip in 18 months, or is this something that I'm going to hold on to for like 10 years? Yeah. And then it's just like, does it really matter or not? It's a hard call. It's just like almost like the interest rate thing, right? Like, where are you going to lock up?
1,000%. The only thing that throws me off is because it's new construction.
Okay.
If it was resale, honestly, I would say...
Well, you know exactly what it is today.
It's done. It's close your... Look at this. A property came up this morning in Schaumburg, just north here of Kleinburg, and $719,000. It's a 50 by 300 foot lot.
Wow.
Renovated bungalow backed onto a farm. Potentially, I don't know. I haven't checked the zoning of the farm or if a builder bought it. But let's just say a builder does buy it. Yeah. And they build houses. You got 35 feet. The houses behind you are not going to affect you. But so that's the only negative that could happen in the future. But so if you look at Kleinburg, our average sales price in the village here, for the building that we're currently in, which is a small, 1,500 square foot building, it's well over $2 million, $2.5 to $3 million. Houses just behind us are $4 to $5 million bucks. And this is due to the village, the traction of this village. Schaumburg has a 3 times larger village, more character, more restaurants, more bars. I think it'll be, naturally everything keeps moving north. Like if you can buy a piece of real estate, walking distance on a builder's lot to the main strip, which is huge. Main Street Schaumburg, the downtown Schaumburg, killer. Like that one there, you literally lock it up and you rent it out. You make your $2,500 per month. You might have to be out of pocket a few bucks, whatever it is. Who cares? Yeah. Like that's great real estate. If my capital was loosened up, I would consider buying that because that's future. So I don't know, like how you feel about that new construction. That it's a beautiful project. When I see plans like that, I get excited.
Yeah, for sure. I want to
get in, right? But
at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck, if I have to close on something right now, I have to go through this like qualifying process right now. Yeah. So for me, I guess some of the attraction is that I can put my money in and I can lock in right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I don't have to deal with this mortgage thing because right now, for me, like I don't think it would be easy for me to get an approval. Just because of everything else that's going on.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, you'll be surprised. You got good guys working for you too.
Yeah, but it's just like it's at a certain point, like let's just be honest, like when it started a corporation, you're not going to pull everything out, and then it's just like you got other things on the go, and it's like.
So Mike made a valid point today too, because let's just say it's worth you're buying it for $540. The next year or 2 years, it's still $500 or $540 between that range. The point? Yeah, so you buried money.
Locked up for no reason.
No reason.
Yeah, possibly have a loss.
You can, possibly have a loss. and then there's a lot of unknowns with that.
Yeah.
If you put into real estate now, you know what you bought it for, especially at that at $540K. Like I can get you into a. I feel like a realtor. But honestly, you can get into a house, an older resale property with a bungalow on it, with a developable piece of land.
Yeah.
And that's future, man. That's 10 years down the road when things turn around, where you can say, "Fucking screw it." But tear the bloody thing down, and then let's start building. Let's have some fun, right? Let's get the trades out and let's build something.
Well, this is kind of the exciting thing about what we do, right? Yeah, like, because we get exposed to all these opportunities, and then we get a chance to like banter back and forth and evaluate all the options, right? So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Very good. Cool, Benny. I got so listen to this. I got a question in from. Okay. So we got like 27 subscribers now.
That's
We're
amazing.
Rocking, buddy.
27 people.
0 to 27, brother.
Real quick.
So here, let's look at this. Where is this? So I got a message in. So so gentleman here in Toronto said, people say to become a millionaire you need 7 streams of income or multiple streams. Do you guys believe in this, or are you currently doing some form of it?
So becoming, what do you say, a millionaire?
So becoming a millionaire, yeah.
So, but I guess it depends on how you define what a millionaire is.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to be a millionaire?
Equity, based on equity, or just cash?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what is it? I guess it's by the individual. What does it? How would a bank look at it?
Yeah.
How does a bank describe a millionaire? I don't know.
So cash means nothing to them. It's all about asset value.
Cash would mean something. It's an asset at the end of the day.
Trying to get money on money, it's difficult.
Yeah, you can't get money on money, but they will still take that into your books and say, okay, this guy's got this. Do you know what I mean?
It's like a retired couple.
So I guess the only question we're asking is that, do you consider your millionaire status based on the equities and properties that you have at the same time?
Or income earned per year.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Like, is it if you say millionaire, is it like 1 million, which I guess we can say millionaire, right?
Yeah.
So is that having what you said before, $1 million in cash in a bank account?
Yeah.
Or does it mean that you've got 2 properties that have $1 million in equity in it, or maybe you got 2 properties that have $800K total in equity in it, and you got $200 in cash, and that's your $1 million. So
why don't we simplify it? Why don't we say?
What is it? What is a millionaire? How do you define it?
So millionaire, let's say it's multiple streams. So.
But what is it? Like, does it have to be cash, or can it be asset?
I'm going to give 2 scenarios.
Yeah.
Income base, making $1 million a year in income.
Sure.
And then maybe having, what's the other one? Cash. So having income of $1 million a year, I guess that would require cash.
Yeah, but okay. So if we look at it that way, of having like $1 million income to call yourself a millionaire, if we look at it that way, in my opinion, then yes, I think you got to have a multiple stream of income, right? Like, I mean, you can do it in one business, but it'd be. I don't want to say it'd be incredibly difficult, but it wouldn't be an easy thing to do either, right? So, I would say if that was the way, but in order of saying like you're a millionaire or whatever, and calling it asset rich as well, like, no, I think you can do one stream, but you just got to be strategic with what you're doing, and the other thing is you got to be focused on what you're doing, right? Like, I know plenty of people, and I know a lot of people where they've just got money, $300,000-$400,000, and they go to sell a property, but you got all this other debt at the same time, so you got to be cautious of what you're doing. But
absolutely.
Yeah, like with the single income, you can become that level.
Yeah, I think so too. I think ultimately, like you said, to have $1 million of income a year depends what you're doing, right? I think in real estate, what we're doing now, to have $1 million in commissions, it's you can do it personally. I know a few people that are, and they're doing really well. But I think longevity of that's not going to last, because it's
going to take a toll on you.
It's too daunting on your physical, mental, family health. Like, it's
everything.
You can't keep it up.
It's poison. It's essentially
a
poison. It's going to kill you slowly.
The Viagra's going to wear off.
Yeah. You're going to slowly die. Yeah.
So I think it can be done, or you can multiply with teams and a whole bunch of stuff. But then again, what's the net profit at the end when you start multiplying?
You can have a high level of $1 million, but when you break it all down, were you just better off doing it yourself and taking your 250 or whatever the number is, right?
Yeah. So what we're planning on going over myself too is the development and building. Like, there, it's more easily made naturally. Bigger risk naturally, a lot more stress, but bigger rewards. Like, I think ultimately, like, my goal, like I always say, 60 to 70 houses per year I want to build, and that's huge, right? Like, if you look at it just at $150,000 profit per year, per property, let's just call it. Do the math, right? It's
huge.
It's what's that? Well, $10 million. just about.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where you need to. So you can do that easily in development and building. But I think in our business it'd be tough. So you would need multiple streams for sure. Yeah. Not to burn out.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's probably a smarter way of doing it, because then also, like, you know, if one thing kind of teeters a little bit, then you have stuff coming in from somewhere else, right? Because, like, even if you get involved with a development deal, a large development deal, and if you end up in a spot where the market becomes stagnant again, well, you're gonna need something else to fuel that. Otherwise, you're gonna take a pretty risky ride down, possibly.
Absolutely.
You know, more so like I'm just like at a point of where it's just saying, like, you know, I get that this $1 million number is something, but it's just like, I don't know why it became so symbolic.
It's like 100K in the 80s, right?
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like, I mean, around like a Vaughan neighborhood or something, like, people's houses are worth like 1.5, 1.8, $2 million. Like, I gotta believe they got $1 million
average
equity
income in the village is over $500,000.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like,
average household income's over $500,000.
So what is being a millionaire when you have $1 million anymore?
Yeah,
what is it really?
It's not much.
Yeah.
Unless you sell everything and you move
to where?
Costa Rica and live collecting coconuts,
bro?
right?
Yeah, but like, how long?
No, it's well, there you could probably do okay.
You think so?
Yeah,
like, what would you need to spend there? Like $50K a year?
Even less.
Less than that? Yeah. So you'd be okay for a while then?
Yeah, you'd be okay. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just like, I'm kind of, when someone says millionaire now, it just like,
no, it's not. It's
I don't know if that's a real target to get to.
Anymore.
Yeah. You know, I remember something from Grant Cardone. What he says is that he's like, you know, he always had like a target of getting to or whatever else like that, and it's just like, you know, the target was too low. I feel like sometimes to a certain level, like the target that I established for myself, it became like when you get to that target, it's like it wasn't really what you were expecting. So I think people that are trying to get to, like, saying they have $1 million in kind of net worth or whatever else like that, I don't think it's what it's cracked out to be.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I think it looks elusive from the outside, but once you get there, or you have the asset value, that life goes on. You still got to put your pants on one leg at a time, and you got to tie your shoes one shoe at a time.
And
right?
I think that's what you learn from it.
It's the same idea.
Yeah, I think
so it kind of humbles you. Then you set your goals larger.
That's the right word.
And again, ultimately, $1 million in today's market, like you said, a house is worth $1.5 million.
So, you know, even to the person that asked the question, it's just like, hey, man, you want to make $1 million? I'll show you how to do it very quickly. I'll show you how to do it very quickly through real estate, right? Absolutely. Like if you make the cut. You know, you go ahead and figure out a way to, like, work with a good mortgage person and get some cash, like some seed money or whatever else like that. You go out and buy like 5 properties and you sit on it for a little while. I think you're going to become a millionaire pretty quickly. Like, if your target is to become $1 million in net worth, like, I mean, absolutely. I don't think it's incredibly difficult, and you can do it with that one stream of income.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree for sure.
Yeah,
just with rental properties alone. Look at the from when we bought properties in, for example, 2014. I bought a townhouse in Allison, $260,000.
Yeah.
By 2017, it was selling at $520,000.
That's amazing.
It's almost $260,000 in equity. Just the property's value, the increase in value, plus the whatever we put down. So we put down $100,000 or $70,000. You got $330,000 in equity. Just in a bloody townhouse.
Same here, man. Like in November 2015, I lined up at Mattamy Homes in Pickering. Waited there 24, 30 hours, whatever it was, man, in line, in cold weather. Picked up this townhouse for $340,000. Closed on it now, and it's like worth minimum $500 right now.
Yeah, amazing.
And really, what did I have to do? I had to put down $30K to secure it for all that time, $30,000.
And you made $160.
Yeah, I made like $160 on it.
That's amazing.
Almost right away.
So look at this. We just had this conversation over lunch. I was talking about a client of mine who's got a really big business, 30, 40, not really big, it's medium-sized business, 30 to 40 employees, 20, 30,000 square foot warehouse doing some amazing stuff. But anyway, and he was talking about how you know, just to front the bills, right? Like, you know, he's got to have a line of credit to pay the employees, because, you know, when you get paid, even in our industry, you get paid 60, 90, 120 days late or later after the sale initially happened. So it's all about proper planning and financial. And if you kind of look at that, even at that level, the guy's, I don't know what that thing makes a year, his company, 15, 20 million bucks a year, I would imagine. Like, if they're not buying real estate during that process or investing their money in some stream, or where it's going to, you know, money's going to come back or equity's going to be earned on it, you can run this business for 20, 30 years, and when you lock the doors and you can't sell anything because all the equipment's old, and you lease the building, you got nothing. It's crazy. Not even the money. Like, how much money could you possibly come out of it? Because let's say you come out with like $3 million or whatever in cash or something like that. But what the hell? That's gonna, you know how that is in retirement.
Yeah.
Right?
It's gonna go quick because you're also accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
What a world!
Yeah, I know. What are you gonna do with $3 million?
No, what a world, but it's even like us. We're selling real estate at a high volume. People do much more than me. I'm not gonna say I'm Well, we're still top tier. I'm still top tier yourself too. Or you're higher than me, or better, in a better position than I am. But ultimately, if you look at it, if I wasn't buying real estate all through these years, yeah, I can have those glass awards on my window ledge in my office, but it means shit.
Yeah, well, honestly. Because the thing is that if you it's what you're gonna do with the money that's coming in too, right? Like I know these two guys, they have a different type of business, but what they did was they used that business. They took all the money out of that business and continued to invest in real estate. So they're multimillionaires. They're multimillionaires, but they didn't get rich from their business. No, they extracted the money out of it. They invested solidly into real estate, maybe over the last 20 years.
Yeah,
they're good. Yeah. And now they have a residual income.
And he retired. One of the
guys retired. Yeah, one of the guys retired. Could have retired a long time ago. He just wanted to do it. But that's a smart way of doing it, right?
He was driving a Toyota Sedona. What was it? A van, a minivan?
Yeah, like a Honda Odyssey.
And driving a Bentley.
Even then, I'm sure someone twisted his arm into getting it. You know, it's just like he's not that guy. He's not that guy.
He retired. He made it. I guess he finally realized how much money he actually made, and he treated himself to something that he.
I'm telling you, this guy, someone probably twisted his arm still and said, "Dude, look, you gotta get this thing."
Maybe it was a gift.
Maybe, he wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? He just has that mentality. He wouldn't do it.
That's amazing, though. But that's life, eh?
Yeah.
It's even for us. We got to keep going, keep plowing with different investment properties.
Yeah. Well, that's why I always get excited when I see projects and I talk to people like you, and I gotta bring it back down a notch. Yeah, bring it down a notch.
And I'm an impatient guy. Right now, I'm because I
looking for.
I want to free up capital. And I want to start buying. I want to keep going because it's. I don't want to over leverage. I don't want to get ahead of myself either. But ultimately, just keep that process going because when I'm not buying something, I feel like I'm literally stopping my growth from happening, right?
Yeah.
So it's just and again, it forces you. So you spend that money in the year, and again, you don't always have to do it on your own. You join venture with a few people, even if it's $40,000 each, whatever.
Yep.
And you buy into a property. It's 33% of an asset.
Yes.
Right. And putting your money out there, that's the best thing because you don't see it and you don't spend it.
Yeah.
Because we're going on vacation. We're going God willing, to Disney in August. We want to go. It's a $10,000 vacation.
Yeah, easily.
With 4 people, that's $10K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's like I'm putting my wife on a thing hey,
we got to
see how the year goes, right? We got to start putting money aside.
Yeah.
But if you had all this money tangible, you're like, yeah, we're gonna go here. We're gonna do Cuba, or not Cuba. If you've heard of what Cuba is, camping. But we're gonna go to Bahamas, then we're gonna go to Las Vegas, and we're gonna spend all this money on trips. And then you spend $30,000-$40,000, let's just say, and you didn't even buy yourself any asset for the future.
But it's like it's like how do you get rich? It's what you're gonna do with the money you have. Even I think for the both of us, we started with very, very, very little. I don't want to say we're rich or anything, but we've done well with whatever we've got. But it was because of the discipline and the focus of saying, hey, I got this extra $500. For me, when I was even working for a corporation, it's just okay. I was getting paid $12 an hour, and then I got paid $14 an hour, and the difference in my paycheck was $160. And I called a freaking TD Bank or PC Bank at the time and say, hey, jack up my mortgage payment $160. I don't even want the money. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Is I want it later. So that was my first instinct. Is call them every time. I was fortunate enough to move through that corporation, and every single time. Something like that happened. I called him up and I said, hey, raise it up again. Raise it up.
That's smart,
I think Duca Financial, where I had my last mortgage, thought I was freaking out of my mind because I doubled the payment. Oh, how much allowance do I have? I have more allowance? Okay, I'm gonna figure it out, man. I'm gonna try to pay into this. I don't want to hold on to it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's it's what do you do? Dude, if I saw that, if I saw a bunch of money there, $10,000-$15,000, I'd be trying to spend it. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just play it broke.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I always separate my money. Every check comes in, I separate it. I just take a chunk off and I put it in an account. So I always work lean. Even my general account to run the business, it's always running lean.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because if it's there, you're going to be we can do this extra marketing or we can buy that extra thing for the office. That thing's running lean. You don't spend money.
Yeah.
And now, so I talked to the accountant last week. I paid that account 4 times more than I should have.
Okay. Amazing.
So now, so let's say 25% of whatever's in that account goes to the government.
Yeah.
And 75% of that's going to be, I got to pay a few bills now, but ultimately most of that's going to go into the holding corp.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right away.
Yeah.
And if I didn't play it like that, play that lean game, that money would have been eaten alive. We had no money for the holding corporation.
Yeah, but I think that's just general human behavior, right? Like you're gonna see it. You're gonna think of things to do with it.
We're human beings. It's not like we're we're a different type of animal. Let's say we're consumers.
But like you know what, man? Like even when I was like adding a little bit of more money, sometimes I run in the red a little bit, $100 overdraft or whatever. But I'd rather see that $100 in red. Than to see like that extra $3,000 sitting there. Yeah, like I'd rather just have that money pulled out, and I know I'll pay the $5.95 for me screwing up, and going $100 in overdraft, and it's better that way because my money's planned out better.
You keep yourself on check, and it's playing these little mind games that allow it. Even us with the personal stuff, it's always separated, right, through allocation accounts, and then there's just everything runs lean. I gotta be honest, but there's always that big pot. If you look at anybody that's really wealthy, like they always set new limits. So if you get $100,000 in cash, that's your new zero. You don't step below 100K. 100K is
it's like zero.
It's zero. You can't dip below that. You got to fight. You got to take on charges. Whatever it is, you don't.
Yeah, just a minimum level.
And then there's that 500K mark, and that's your new zero. And it's $1 million.
Yeah.
Because that's how you build
that's how they
discipline.
You
build discipline. A lot of guys that I talk to that has that type of money, that's how they play it.
But they run their personal finances like a business. You know what I mean? But I think that's very important. They're running their personal finances like a business.
Absolutely.
And I think most people should.
100%.
I think most people should. If they actually do want to become wealthy and whatever else like that, they actually should run it like that. And like in the topic of becoming wealthy too is just like overindulging and just buying unnecessary crap.
Absolutely.
Or you know what, like even going through that book like the Millionaire teacher, right? It's just like, hey, you know, I just like paid off $20,000 of my credit card. Let's take a $5,000 vacation.
It's crazy.
Like, are you nuts?
Because they had to pay off the debt.
Yeah.
No, that's the mentality.
It's like you know, I'm gonna diet for like a week and then you go out and have this big meal. Like,
it doesn't make sense.
You rewarded yourself with a big greasy meal because you dieted for like 5 days. Like, come on, man.
It's
like, it doesn't make sense. Same thing with the finances, right? Like, you save. You pay off something, and then you're like, okay, now it's time to party.
It's a vicious cycle. It's like a snake eating itself. Look at my client. She's 80 odd years old. I just sold. That's the farm I just sold now. And I love talking to elder people that have seen. You know, different world than we have. We were spoiled. We were probably born in the best generation. 80s.
I agree.
Oh my gosh. Like it's brilliant. Like, you know, imagine being born in the 40s or the 50s, you know, post-war, pre-war, whatever it is. It's crazy. You know, you saw starvation. Like you guys ate once a day, like especially my dad back in Italy. That's what they did, right? Talking about intermittent fasting. They would fast. That was normal life. And they were strong and they lived healthy, right? But you look at her and she says, you know, everything that I have, and she just worked, you know, plain jobs, making, you know, $15 an hour, $20 an hour. I think that was the most she ever made. But she's got a house that's worth $1 million paid in cash. We just sold that farm. It's $550,000 cash coming back. Plus, probably another $1 million in the bank. He's got $2-3 million just sitting around.
You know, that reminds me.
$15 an hour.
That's crazy. But see, that reminds me of my mom. My mom works has all these like labor job almost, right? Works in a warehouse, worked at Zeller's, like $14. Like I don't even know if $14, man, to be honest. But this lady at the end of the time, like if you're like, hey, I need 30 grand, she's like, okay. But she has expenses. They have rent to pay. They they got to eat and whatever else that. But you work like minimum wage job. But at the end of the day, you still have money left over because you know how to do it. Like you value it, right? And then you're spreading it out. You're making your budget. She's got money.
I love it.
Yeah, she's got money at the end of the day.
She should like coach, like myself too. I'd love to hear that, like that breakdown, because they just do it naturally.
But that's what it is.
We're so spoiled. Like we need a coach to tell us this. They're just like, this is survival. Like if you make 10. You spend 20%, you know, $2 of that on freaking, you know, whatever it is, like 20% of that on something like the joyful. The rest is in the bank or paying bills, right?
They're smart, man. Like even my mom, like 60, like I more or less forced her to retire at 60. She's like, I'm good though. Like I don't need money. Like I'm good. I have my savings and this and that and whatever. And like man, like it's. You know, I think we can learn a lot of stuff from that generation 100%. Too, right? Because we're just quick.
Oh my gosh! Spend. But we want this and that.
But we want it now. Forget about your allocation process. Forget about allocating and saving $100 at a time. I just want it now, man.
What a world!
Spend $1,000 right now.
It's a confusing world.
I know. Honestly, I know. We've had that chat.
Sometimes I just wonder, like, I don't know, man. Like you just got to think of things, right? Even now, we have the house now in Nobleton. Like that's $7,500 in tax a year, property tax.
Yeah.
It's almost a land lease.
Yeah.
And that's pretty conservative for like estate style neighborhoods. Like you get here in Kleinburg, you're like a $10,000 to $12,000 to $15,000 a year.
Or just come to Durham, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just come to Durham.
Tax
I think mine was like $9,000.
Oh,
yeah, mine came up to like I'm telling you. No,
like,
Durham is high.
It's a land lease.
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and a land lease?
It's really expensive. I feel like I'm getting robbed.
What do we really own?
I don't know. I honestly feel like I'm getting robbed. Like what the payment comes out is like $700-800 a month or something like that. It's like insane.
It's incredible.
Dude, that was my whole mortgage on the first place. Like not even.
And that's property tax.
Yeah.
I told Chris and Sylvan they were here
burning.
today. I said, like, my intentions naturally is to go off the grid. After, I get where I need to be financially and set my business where the kids can run off with it. I'm off the grid, man. A 10-acre farm, up on the 15 side road here in Nobleton, King District here. That's it.
Yeah.
Solar power, well, livestock, the whole.
Yeah.
I'm off the grid, man. I'm living like a hippie. I gotta be honest.
That's it. No more monthly expenses.
That's it. Yeah. Rural taxes. Like 10 acres, there's probably like, let's say $3,000 to $4,000.
I was gonna say,
yeah. You can build a beautiful house there and have everything you want. But, off the grid, man. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. We're good.
That's it. We're ready to pack it in.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, guys. Listen. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, please text, direct message myself or Hussein. And again, thank you for subscribing. And if you want to hear more, please subscribe and click the bell on YouTube so you can get notified when we're going live. Have a great day, guys.
Take care.
Ciao.